Hi, everyone. I think I'm live. Going to wait for YouTube to catch up. And I think, okay, good. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another YouTube Live for Pinkfresh Studio. Today I'm going to be creating with I'm going to mix and match two collections, the Flower Market and the Spring Vibes collection, and also two dyes that I picked. I will show you everything in a second. I'm just going to wait a few more moments for more people to join. Hi, Heather. So Heather's behind the Pinkfresh Studio name. She's going to be in the chat, helping you with questions if I miss any. And she will also pick a winner at the end of this live session who can win a $15 gift card. Oh, thank you, Heather. Yeah, that's true. Normally it was, when I was doing those YouTube live sessions, it was dark. But now thanks to the summertime, it's finally light out and it's so nice because right now it's 7 p.m. here. But yeah, it's so much nicer to work in the light. So yeah, hi everyone, hi Bo, hi hi Mom Full of Joy. I forgot your name. I know you commented on my blog last for the washi tape release, but I forgot your name. So yeah, hi everyone. So I'm going to flip my camera to show you what we will be working with. And where is it? Yeah. So here you can see. So this is what I picked so far. I also already picked some embellishments from the Flower Market collection. And as you can see, I already used up quite a bit of it. I even put the dimensional stickers and the frame stick chipboard, the chipboard frames on one sheet to have everything in one place. I almost used up all of my enamel dots. Some cardstock stickers, puppy stickers, and then also some bits and pieces from the Spring Vibes collection. But I didn't pick any pattern papers, and you will see in a moment why. I also picked those two dies. This is the Shaker Hearts die set, and this is the Floral Grid cover plate die. And you can find all of the products linked in the description below. So you can find the links to everything there. And actually, when I was thinking about today's YouTube Live, and I was messaging Leah what products I'm going to use, I already had an idea in mind of what I wanted to do, but then you know the feeling when you have an idea and then you just really can't wait to get started with it. So that's what happened to me. So I actually already created the layout that I had in mind for today with the products that I just showed you. So I had to come up with something different, and I'm going to show you what I created. So this is a sneak peek for everyone watching. All of the others have to wait a few more days until this layout goes live on my Instagram account and on my YouTube channel. So there's a process video for this as well. But here you can see I already used the Shaker Heart die, and this was my idea. So I already used up this idea, so I had to come up with something different for today. And I actually had some of the hearts that I die cut from those little pattern paper pieces left over. So I thought, why not make use of the leftovers? And actually, if you've seen a few of my videos so far, or if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I love using every last bit of a collection and, making use of things that you might throw away usually. So the papers that I used to die cut all of these hearts are actually these little squares that you get in the cover sheet in a 12 by 12 paper pack. So this is from an older collection, but I just wanted to show you what I mean with the cover page, because I already cut up the cover page for the Flower Market and Spring Vibes collection. So anyway, so almost all of the hearts you can see here, like 90%, were die cut from this. So I just fussy cut the squares, then I used a small heart die to die cut them out. You know, I placed it almost like centered, so I could use not only the heart, but also the leftover piece, or the positive and a negative piece. So let's get started. So as I said, I want to use up those leftover hearts. And when I kind of played around with them, I noticed that I had like all of the colors of the rainbow left, apart from violet, but there's not really a purple in these two collections. So we could, you know, we will make do without it. But I have blue, green, I have the yellow, this sort of like orange with a little bit of pink. And then I have this mix, and then this kind of pink-red tone. So perfect rainbow. And what I thought I would do. So, you know, I was thinking rainbow, and I didn't want to use any more pattern papers because the patterns in the hearts are already quite busy. And then I thought I would use some of the chipboard frames from those two collections and just combine them to create my rainbow. So there's actually a frame in every color that I need in those two packs. And what I thought I would do, so today is all about using up leftovers, because these photos are actually also leftovers. So I made it my mission. I have like a small stack of photos that I printed for different projects that I didn't end up using, but I hate throwing photos away. So my mission right now is to create at least every second project that I create, use some of these leftover photos. So these were some photos from like that we took when I was pregnant with our son. Like, I think this was about 2 weeks or so before he was born. And we had to kind of do our own little photo shoot because this was during COVID. So, you know, we just had a tripod and my husband, and we took some photos. So I thought I would use these because they also go really well with the colors of those two collections. And what I thought I would do is grab a frame in every color, in different sizes, and then sort of arrange those frames either like vertically in a row or horizontally, probably horizontally, and kind of do a rainbow curve, and then use these hearts as like embellishments on top. Maybe not all of them, but you know, at least a few. So let me just check real quick if there are any questions that I missed. I don't think so. Okay. All right. Okay, so what I will do, and this is also something that I probably showed a few times already. So because I don't really know exactly which frames I will end up using and where they will end up, and those frames are really sticky. So once you put them down and you kind of press them down, they will pretty much stay where they are. And if you try to peel them up again, you will probably rip your paper. So what I like to do is keep those frames on this kind of plastic sheet, on this carrier sheet, or what you would call it, I don't know. And then just put it like this on my paper or on my background, so I can move things around and see where they go, and, you know, place things on top of each other without ruining my paper or the embellishments. And you could also, if you don't have any of this plastic left or not enough, you could also just use regular acetate, like transparency sheets, and cut them up and put those frames on there. So what I will do first of all is pick frames in all of the colors of the rainbow that I need. And I'm going for different sizes. So, and I will probably also, I'm not sure if I want to include any of the round frames, because I already have the square or like the rectangular form or shape, sorry, the rectangular shape, and I already have the heart shape. I'm not sure if I want to introduce circles as well. So we will see. So first of all, as I said, I'm going to grab the frames so I can cover all of the colors that I need. And for some of the colors, I have different options. And for like yellow, as you can see, I only have those kind of green-yellow frames left. So none that are, no frame that's just completely yellow. And as I said, first of all, I'm just going to figure out which frames and where they will go. Then I can figure out what to put in those frames, where to put my photos, and so on. And then we can go from there. I have to admit, though, I'm not too sure about this dark blue because I don't have the dark blue in the hearts. But for now, I will try it out. And this is where I might have to use one of the round frames just so I can get this more like this lighter shade of blue. Oh, it's so nice that so many of you who are joining are card makers, but that you still, watch those videos, because I think, as Teresa just said, that usually you can take something from a scrapbooking process for card making as well, and the other way around too. So if I watch card making videos, I often get ideas for what I could do on a layout. So I think it's, sometimes it's a good way to have like a different perspective, so to say. And with those that are like two-tone, what I will do is put them in the direction that like it still goes in the rainbow order. So the green touches the green. I wouldn't put it like this because this doesn't flow very nicely. So I would put it like this. So I have green, green, and then I can move on with yellow, orange, and then it's sort of pink and so on. So I need more large frames, obviously. And as I said, I'm not sure if I will end up using all of these or just a few. We will see. Oh, thank you, Emily. Thank you for complimenting my tattoos. I actually got 2 new ones just recently, but you can't really see them. Well, you can see one. This is the name of my son. But the other one is on my ankle, so I probably shouldn't show it in this YouTube live session. I need more. I'm good with green. As you can see, there are lots of green options, but there are not that many for, or at least not many left for the pink yellow tones. So as you can see here, I have another two-tone, but there's writing on it. So putting it on the side probably doesn't work, or I have to cover it like this, then it works. So we will see. Maybe this also works. But I need another round one, because now that I have one round frame, just one looks a bit strange. So I need at least one more. The yellow circle, so there's one yellow circle here, you're right, Roxanne, but it has a very, very thin, I'm not even sure if you can see it on camera, very thin red circle in it. And I'm not liking this together with the rest. And I can't cover up the red line in any way, so. I'm trying to see if I can use any of the multicolored or like patterned frames, or if it's too much, because it doesn't really work, or it's not a solid color. But at the same time, I feel like it might work. Kind of connecting those two parts, it kind of replaces the missing yellow frame. So maybe this would be a good way to kind of make up for that. And I'm also going to, so brace yourselves, I'm also going to cut up some of the frames. Like I want them to look like they are running off the page, if you know what I mean. So something like this, it's gonna get a little bit more flowy. Right now it's still very, I need more small ones here. So I have one small blue one, light blue, but I've run out of plastic sheets. Okay, so let's see. This is just a rough, placement for now. Nope. I don't think I will use another multicolored frame. I think that's too much, and it kind of muddles the rainbow. I think one more light pink, and then I will probably, continue with the exact placement of the frames and how to fill them. Okay, one advice. So I was just taking off one of the frames that I did want to use and didn't know where to put it. And I actually put it, kind of on my mouth, to probably not the best idea to keep it there. I would advise against that, because those frames are really sticky and I just ripped my lip and now it's bleeding. So I will have to grab a tissue really quick. I'm sorry. So all the things we do for scrapbooking, right? I'm actually bleeding for you. Okay. It hurt. It actually hurt, Heather, yeah. And it was one of those things, you know, the moment I took it off, I ripped it off, I was thinking to myself, why did you do that? But, you know, anyway. Okay, so let's see. Let's grab the hearts that I have left, just to see if the basic idea is working. I'm probably not going to use this one because I'm not liking that it's the same pattern as the frame, because I do want it to stand out, and this one doesn't stand out very well. Right? How would you explain it to someone who is not familiar with this whole crafting thing? How would I explain to someone how I hurt my lip? So this is a rough, you know, just a rough idea for now. And once I'm actually placing all the things, or, you know, putting them down for good, I will use some foam tape and things to have everything on different heights so that it creates more dimension and so on. So I think that's good, looking good so far. I'm trying to see if maybe this frame right here. No, I do like the green kind of plaid, or what you would call it, gingham. What's the difference between plaid and gingham? I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit of dark green. Oh, I'm liking this. And obviously, I'm not going to fill all of the frames with photos. That would be a bit too much. But I can, some of the frames will probably stay empty, just so that it's not too busy. Some will have photos, and, you know, maybe one has the journaling. We will see. Oh, that makes sense, Heather. Yeah. So that would be gingham, right? More like a tablecloth thing, right? Okay, so let's see. For my photos. So I might not use all three of them because those two are actually the same, just different sizes, and one black and white, one color. So I would definitely use this one. And then maybe just one of the others. That makes sense with the uniform sizing. Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, let's see. You know what? I'm going to do something that I usually do when I'm not crafting live, when I have a placement that I don't want to ruin, but where I have to move things around a lot. I'm actually going to grab my phone and take a photo, just so that I can remember and have a look at it again to see how I placed things in case I mess everything up now that I'm trying to, you know, figure out where to put my photos. Okay, so I'm definitely going to use this frame on this photo. So I can already go with that. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm so glad that you are liking how this layout is coming along so far. I'm going to place it back on this plastic sheet because it does have a little bit of the frame showing, so it's still sticky. So let's see. I think I will actually use, so often I would use one color and one black and white, just so that one photo pops and the other is more like a supporting photo. But this time I feel like the color photo looks nicer with the rest of the frames and stands out a bit more. I think this one gets a little bit lost. So just have to figure out the placement. So when I'm placing the frame down, what I'm trying to do is, first of all, get it straight. And second, I don't want to frame like my full body, because that's a bit weird, because, you know, my head is right up to the edge. I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself well, but just to, you know, think a little bit about the framing, just as you would when taking a photo. So like 2/3, not sure if you've heard of the rule of thirds, for example. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind when framing your photos. And now I can just cut off the excess like that. I'll have to go a little bit underneath here because it has this little indentation, if that's what you would call it. Okay. So now I have my 2 photos ready. So obviously I want those to stand out. So I will put them on dimensional tape or, you know, foam squares or something like that. Just so that they don't get lost and are not further back than all of the other frames. And I'm not taking off the backing just yet. I still want to be able to move everything around, but just so that I can see if I'm liking the height of everything. Hi, Natalie. So glad you could join us. Okay, so the bleeding of my lip has stopped. That's good. Because it did feel a bit weird when talking. And I usually, if I want to cover a larger area with dimensional or with foam dots or something, I would usually grab my craft foam. But right now, I don't know where it is. So I will have to make do with foam squares. Okay. So what I can do now is, you know, have the frames overlap. So that's what I want to do. I don't want them to be completely visible, all of them, but have them kind of touch and overlap just to create a nice flow of everything. So actually, let's go ahead and get started with sticking things down. So I know that this will run off the page. So I'm just going to place it down. I will cut off the excess in a second. And I'm not sure if I want to stick this down just yet, just because I might want to tuck something underneath. But I can already place this smaller dark green frame. Like this. So let's see what else. All right. So here I had this kind of green and yellow. There's another green and yellow here, but it has this dark green that's not really matching, and also a little bit more of a muted yellow, and it's also another large frame. So I don't think that that would be the best choice. That would look nice as well, but I feel like it would get too heavy on the green if I add another green one. So let's see. To be honest, I'm not even sure if maybe I will just use it like this, so that just the yellow is peeking out. Something like this. But there will have to be a bit more space between the two photos. I'm not liking if they are sitting together like this. So let's see how we can break it up. So I have this green heart. And as I said, I want to have this more flowy look. So the yellow is actually giving me a little bit of grief. So my problem right now, and you're probably thinking I'm nuts, is that this frame is almost the exact same size as this frame. And I'm not liking having two frames the same size right next to each other. And this green is a little bit lighter than this green, but almost the same as this color. So it's, you know, sometimes my brain is a bit weird. You know what? I'm going to commit. I'm just going to stick it down and figure out what to do and how to make it work next. Just like that. So because if I use something like this on top, it's not as noticeable. Or, you know, have more of the yellow, actually. Something like this. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's push it down so it's, once you push it down, push those chipboard frames down, they are, as I said, pretty much going to stay where they are. They are sticky. As my lip had to experience. Okay, I'm going to stick this frame down as well. So let's see, maybe I'm going to do it up there. Or down here. Okay, I'm just placing it lightly because I already took off the backing of all of the foam squares, but I'm not sure actually if I want to do it down low like this or maybe up. So I just put it down very gently so that I would still be able to move things around. Oh, and something else before I forget, because I might have to, or I have to do this before I stick all of them down. Small rectangular frame with the leaves in the middle. You probably mean this one, right? Yeah, as I said, I feel like I have lots of options for the green, but I don't want to overdo it with green frames. And these small ones are easy to, you know, I can easily put more of those in later and just kind of tuck them in. So I'm not worried about the really small ones. Okay, so as I said, I also picked this floral grid cover plate die, and I already gone ahead and die cut it for just like this piece of scrap white cardstock, because I knew that I wouldn't need like a full panel. But what I want to do is, you know, maybe back one or more of those frames with this die cut piece, because as I said, I don't want to use any more pattern papers. You could also back some of the frames with pattern papers, maybe even do it like tone on tone, so that you would back like an orange frame with an orange pattern paper, blue frame with blue pattern paper, and so on. But I feel like it might be too much. But you know what? Let's see if I can find a more solid piece of pattern paper. It might actually help to accentuate the rainbow. So now I'm a bit torn. But anyway, jumping around again, as usual. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and back this frame with a piece from this die cut floral grid cover plate die thing. And then I will see if it works or not. I can rip this off if it's not working. So I'm just going to try it out. But I might not end up using the cover plate die at all. And that's okay, you know, sometimes your ideas change. Actually, I'm liking it. I take everything back. I'm liking how this is looking. And now I feel like I should have backed this circle with the paper. Let's see if I can take it off. Yep. Okay, so I was able to take it off, but simply because I didn't push it down very hard. And if I ripped this part of the pattern of the white cardstock, it wouldn't be a big deal because I would cover it with the frame again. So yeah, I'm liking this. So I want to repeat this this design at least 3 times. And you might have heard me talking about this a few times already. But I like to have things in uneven numbers and if it's just a few, you know, in threes. So I have like 3 of the same type of embellishment or something like that. So now I can go ahead and put this down again, but I feel like now I could actually back this with some blue pattern paper just to give it a little bit more blue because it's only peeking through those openings. So it's not too much, you know, it's not going to be very busy, but it's going to there. This is the perfect part of that paper. So I'm trying to figure out how to place it so that only the light blue is showing through those openings. And I'm going to use some liquid adhesive so I can kind of move it around a little bit. And Okay. Again, cutting off the excess. And I'm not worried about this part because, as I said, this frame will be running off the page, so I don't have to back that part with anything. But I'm going to adhere it with tape runner and not with liquid adhesive, just in case I have to move it again for whatever reason. You know, I really don't want to rip that whole thing apart. Let me clean up that part a little bit because it's driving me crazy. Okay. Let's see. I also grabbed some of the embellishments from the ephemera packs from those two collections that, you know, I thought might go with my basic or with the idea, but I might not end up using any or many of them because, as I said, I don't want things to get too busy. And I would also do it tone on tone. So I feel like I'm trying to find ways to get in more yellow because I feel like this is what's missing a little bit. I'm going to put it down. So this is from the Flower Market. No, sorry, from the Spring Vibes ephemera pack. So I'm trying to frame it so that you can see the flowers. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're liking the yellow, Esther. I feel like yellow for me really depends on the shade. So I really like kind of like mustard yellow tones. But with those two collections, I'm actually liking this very fresh and bright yellow from the from the Flower Market collection. So that's why I wanted to use this frame instead of this frame. Okay, now I can use that heart down here for even more pops of yellow. Well, to be honest, Natalie, I'm usually, I don't know, it's not like yellow is my favorite color, but I feel like when I'm doing this sort of rainbow type layout, I feel like I need all of those colors in there, more or less evenly, you know, distributed among the colors. So I can't really get away with not using yellow, at least not in my mind. It's, you know, it would be like there's something missing from the rainbow. Okay, I'm going to stick down the other photo. And I'm hoping that you are liking this inspiration of what you can do with the chipboard frames, because there's often people commenting that they do like the frames as such, as an embellishment, like the look of them, but they don't really know how to make them work and how to use them. So I hope that this this project gives you some ideas of what you can do with them. And you could actually take this whole tone-on-tone thing up a notch if you like, with, you know, by including some mixed media. So you could even do some kind of ink blending or watercoloring in the coordinating colors behind the frames. But first, I don't really have the time for that. And second, I'm not good at it. I like the look of it if other people do it. So Natalie would be a perfect person for that. I feel, you know, I feel like she would do it perfectly, but I just can't do it. Every time I try it, I really don't like how it ends up looking. Okay, so time to figure out a placement for the rest of the frames. So now I'm just, as I said, with the small frames, I'm just going to push them in, tuck them underneath, things like that. And even if it's not looking very flowy right now, remember that I still have to add the hearts back in, so it gives it more of a flow, or at least I hope so, once they are back on there. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Oh, and by the way, if you are, you know, enjoying this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up. And don't forget to chat, to be active in the chat for your chance to win a $15 gift card. You can also share this, even though it's, you know, we are almost done, but still, you could share it so that someone could watch the replay later. That's what I was trying to say. And yeah. Okay, let's see. So I still have to get this frame down. This is going to be popped up simply because it also gives me some space to put something dimensional, you know, to put foam dots or squares or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. I feel like this is something that could work. Remember, I still have to put in the hearts. So let's see. Trying to also have hearts, maybe not in every color, because that might get a little bit too crowded, but at least, or actually, yeah, that would be every color. So blue, green, yellow, orange, kind of orange, pink mixed together, and this more sort of red, pink tone. So here you have this more, you know, sort of a little bit more flowy look. And this, so here I already stitched 2 hearts together. This was one from the ephemera pack. This was something that I did when creating this layout because I wasn't sure, you know, what I wanted to use or how many I wanted to use. So I created more than I ended up needing, which comes in handy for this layout. Okay, so I'm liking this placement. So now I have to put adhere everything down. And as I said, I'm not afraid to cut things up. Ooh, good question, Natalie. That's a good point. So Natalie is asking if you checked out the new PinkFresh Studio ink storage case yet. If you haven't, make sure you go to the PinkFresh Studio Instagram account after this live, obviously, and check it out. It's amazing. It's so good. And I only have the full size ink pads from PinkFresh Studio, and now I actually kind of regret that I only have those because I really want to use that storage case, but it's for the ink cubes. But it's so good. Oh, I'm going to show, that's a good point, Teresa. So I'm going to show the photo that I took of the placement at the end, just for comparison. That's a good note. I feel like I need something in here, in this orange circle thing. So I have a few more minutes left. Let's see. So when you are trying to back something like squares, don't forget to have a look at your ephemera pieces, like die cuts, and also at your stickers. So you could also, use a frame to, if there's something that feels like you could use, something like this, love you, you could frame that, put a sticker behind it. That's also a great way to use those stickers. You don't have to use the sticker as, a traditional sticker, so to say. I wanted to see if, nope. So of those dimensional stickers, I only have like very colorful ones left. So I don't feel like this would work. But I have this chipboard piece from the frames, from the chipboard frames that says, love this, kind of a banner in this kind of peachy orange with orange writing. And I feel like it would look nice on here. I'm keeping it. I like it. And I think I will actually use more foam squares behind this piece so that it's up even higher. Would you consider doing this layout on a solid background, a pastel maybe? Alan, probably, although I would have some difficulty choosing which color, because I feel like, as I said, I try to distribute all of the colors of the rainbow more or less evenly. And I feel like if I used, let's say, a very light yellow background, I feel like that yellow would already, overtake the rainbow design, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I guess that's something, just personal preference. And I just like white backgrounds. I know that I do them all the time. And I know that there are people who don't like white backgrounds, but I feel like it just makes the colors, all of the other colors, pop so nicely and stand out a little bit more. And, it kind of evens things out a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so now I only need to adhere the hearts and then figure out, some, let's say, supporting embellishments. So first adhering the hearts, trying not to jump around too much. But what I could do, so I said that I don't want to use this heart because it's, almost the same, but I think I will just adhere this one on top of the other for more dimension. And just to have it peek out a little bit. And normally, so if I had all of the time in the world and this wasn't live, I would take this to my sewing machine and stitch it together. Actually, I might do that later. So I might just put this one down, you know, without adhering it, so I can add stitching later on. So these are adhered. This one's not adhered yet. So yeah, if you don't know, there's not only this gorgeous ink storage case coming, there's also new colors being added to the Pinkfresh Studio ink pad color families. I believe there are 6 new color families being added, if I'm not mistaken. So 6 families with 4 pads each, right? Okay. No, not jumping around. So now I only need to adhere down this heart. I'm going to have it overlap as well. So I'm going to use liquid adhesive on the frame. So for more dimension, and I will put some like 3 layers of foam squares behind that part of the heart to so that it's not going to be pushed down, if you know what I mean. I feel like I'm kind of rambling today. I hope I'm not. Well, this was 2-dimensional. So I have actually two types of foam squares, and these were the really dimensional ones. Okay, so I have all of the hearts adhered except this one, which I will add some stitching to off camera. But it will go there just so that I have this sort of wave. So let's see. I'm not sure if I want to add, so with tone on tone, you can get away with quite a bit of embellishments simply because if you keep it strictly tone on tone, it's kind of, it's not getting too much, but I don't want to, go over that point until it becomes too much. But I feel like just a few bits and pieces here and there, just a few flowers to repeat this kind of floral design. Feel like I can get away with that. So there are also lots of flower die cuts in both collections. But as I said, I'm not trying to add too many of those because I already have the heart shape, the frames, but just 1 or 2 of those that are just one single color. And tucking those underneath some of the frames and having them kind of come out and overlap also accentuates these different dimensions and the different levels of height. So it gives it more dimension. It really, creates depth and shadows. So that's what I'm going for with this design. So as for my title, oh, I see that we are already, time is already up. So I will probably not completely finish this layout, as you can tell. I might, just move a few things around here and there. I'm going to stick this down temporarily so I can show you the almost finished layout in a second, holding it up. But as for the title, so I grabbed some of those phrase die cuts. So there's a whole pack of phrase ephemera pieces in the Spring Vibes collection. And this beautiful gold foil one is actually from the Foil Sentiments ephemera pack, which is kind of geared towards card makers, but there's also perfect pieces in there for scrapbooking. So I might actually use, one of those as my title, but I could also use some of those letter stickers. So this is something that I will have to figure out, but I'm kind of liking this more smaller title, or maybe like two, kind of like a subtitle, something like this. So Heather, let me see. Heather announced the winner. Congratulations, Mona Goyal. Not sure if I pronounce it correctly. You are the winner of the $15 gift card. All you have to do is contact Leah@pinkfishstudio.com to claim your prize. Give her, 2 to 3 days to get back to you, and then have fun spending that on some Pinkfish Studio goodies. So as promised, I will show you the photo that I took of how I had everything arranged. Let me cut off the excess really quick. So this was kind of what I had in mind at the beginning. It hasn't changed too much, to be honest. Obviously a little bit, but it's still pretty close to what I thought. Okay, I'm going to show you a finished layout, or as I said, almost finished layout. There will be a few more pieces here and there, and I will definitely add enamel dots because I can't live without them. But apart from that, so let me flip my camera so I can actually say goodbye in person. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's live session and the inspiration for this layout. And as I said, I will finish this layout off camera and show it on my Instagram account in, maybe 2 to 3 days. Give me a bit of time. And then you can see what else I added and what kind of more details you can find. So once again, this is almost it. And thank you very much for joining us. And remember, next week, Bo, I'm from Germany. I live close to Frankfurt. So the center, more or less the center of Germany. So yeah, we will see you next week. Tuesday is sneak peek for the upcoming card release with, I'm not sure if with Heather and Leah. And then on Thursday, it's Natalie again with more scrapbooking inspiration. So thank you very much for joining. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.